Please stand for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Parkland. Today is Wednesday, January 11th. It is a day 4 and an A schedule. I'm Callie Seckler.
And I'm Bradley Kunz. Welcome back to Parkland TV. The next Geo Club meeting is tomorrow, January 12th at 7:20 a.m. in C200. All new members are welcome.
Student Senate will hold a general membership meeting after school today in D219. Student Council will meet after school on Tuesday, January 24th in D219 to discuss the district-wide food drive.
NHS tutoring for the first semester ends on Friday, January 20th. Moving forward, any tutor request forms submitted will be considered for tutoring in the second semester, with sessions starting on or after Monday, January 23rd.
The next TED Ed Club meeting will be tomorrow after school in room C246. Any current or new members are invited to attend. They will be taking their picture for the yearbook. See Mrs. Litzenberger if you have any questions.
Now Club will meet tomorrow at 3 p.m. in D206. They will be taking their yearbook club photo. The next Parkland Productions meeting is tomorrow after school in B118.
The Trumpet newspaper is hosting their second annual Love Poem Contest. Winners of the contest will have their poem featured on the front page of the February print edition and will also receive a special gift. There are 2 ways to submit your poetry. You may email your poem to Mrs. Beck or check the Schoology update posted in your class page for a Google form submission link. All poems are due by January 20th. Good luck.
Now over to Aurora and Mrs. Bennick to talk about midterms.
Hi, I'm news correspondent Aurora Geary, and I'm here with Assistant Principal Mrs. Bennick to go over midterms and finals. So, Mrs. Bennick, what exactly are midterms for those of us that haven't taken them yet?
So midterm exams are a mid-year assessment that is summative in nature, in that you'll be covering the essential skills and concepts that you've covered during the first part of your core classes, namely English, math, science, social studies, and world languages.
Okay, awesome. And what is the schedule going to look like for midterms?
So our schedule for midterms is kind of unique because you will be doing your science midterm exams in classes prior to our actual exam dates. So our 2 formal exam dates are the 18th and 19th of January. So it's a Wednesday and a Thursday. But then the week prior to that, on Thursday and Friday, students will be completing their science midterm exams in their respective science classes, which takes into account your even-odd schedules that you have for a lot of your science classes. The Monday after your science exam is actually Martin Luther King Day, so students are off that day. And then that Tuesday is a full day. So you'll more than likely either probably play some catch up maybe with some of your science exams, doing some final things in some of those instances where you may have some final things to do, or you'll probably be reviewing for your exams then on Wednesday and Thursday of that week. And then the Wednesday exam schedule is actually your English and math. I think that's right. And Thursday is, your Wednesday schedule is English and math, and then Thursday is your social studies and your world language.
That's so cool. And is there any way that you could be exempt from midterms?
So the only classes that would actually offer an exemption for midterms would be our senior courses, which would be our half-year econ and half-year gov courses.
Okay.
Because just the nature of the way that those courses are set up, they're set up to run half a year, so students could technically, our seniors who take those courses, could technically be eligible for an exemption. Otherwise, there's no exemptions for midterms.
Yeah. And is there an exemption for finals at the end of the year?
Yes, so all of our students will have the opportunity to be exempt from final exams.
Okay.
That's based on your performance throughout the course of the school year. And generally speaking, students need to have maintained a 90% average based on the 4 rating periods in their respective core class in order to be eligible for a final exam. However, because this year, one thing that we're introducing that's completely new to Parkland is the opportunity to do a project in lieu of an exam. That would be the instance where students would not qualify for exemption. So if a teacher is doing a project in their class for a final exam, there won't be an exemption from that.
That was actually going to be one of my other questions, if there were any alternatives for midterms. But are there any other tips you have for studying or getting prepared for these tests?
Well, hopefully you've done a good job of keeping yourself organized throughout the course of the semester, because as I said, it's a summative exam in that it's covering everything that you've done in your first and second rating periods. So if you've done a good job of keeping your notes organized, keeping your materials together, keeping everything that your teachers have shared with you throughout the course of the semester in one place in an organized fashion, that's going to be really important in helping you prepare for exams. In addition, a lot of our teachers will be providing students with study guides, and we'll be going through different study guides in class. So that's another important part of the exam preparation process. Some of our teachers will actually be doing a project in lieu of an exam. So those teachers will be going through that with their students. But I'd say for the most part, a lot of our teachers are actually going to be administering a traditional midterm exam. So obviously making sure that you take the time to go through your notes and prepare, and in addition to best practices like getting a good night's rest, eating a good breakfast, and just taking the time to review your notes before you take the test. Those are all good test-taking strategies that students should employ.
Awesome, that was so helpful. Thank you so much for sharing your information about our tests coming up in January.
You are so welcome. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
I'm Aurora Geary from Parkland TV, and that's all we have for you today.
In sports news, swimming and diving beat Deerfield, boys and girls basketball beat Stroudsburg, boys 60-40 and girls 66-14. Great job, teams.
Make sure to follow our YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at Parkland TV Film, and check out our website, parklandtvfilm.org, for updates, broadcasts, and exclusive content. I'm Bradley Kahns.
And I'm Callie Seckler. Have a great day, Parkland. Now over to Brooke and Gianna with How to Do Stuff and Things.
Good morning, Parkland. Welcome back to Tips and Tricks on How to Do Stuff and Things with Brooke and Gianna. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Gianna. As we near the end of the second marking period, midterms are right around the corner. Because of this, today we're going to try to help you out by giving you 7 tips and tricks on how to study for midterms.
Tip number 1, if you haven't already, start to study now. Cramming will not help you. The more in advance you start, the easier it will be to remember everything. Taking it slow and steady will help you the most.
Tip number 2, minimize distractions as much as you can. Go to a place where you won't be bothered and keep your phone in a different room. If you get easily sidetracked by noise, keep any TVs or music off.
Tip number 3, remember to take breaks. If you are going non-stop, you'll become overwhelmed and there might be too much going on. Try starting off by studying for 10 minutes and take a 5-minute break, then study for 15 minutes and a break, then 20 minutes, and so on. It's important to not be studying non-stop for hours on end.
Tip number 4, stay well rested. Sleep matters. If you aren't sleeping and tired, you won't be able to focus and remember what you studied. According to a University of Pennsylvania study in 2019, around 20% of students pull all-nighters at least once a month, and about 35% stay up past 3 in the morning. 2 MIT professors also proved that the less students sleep during the semester, the worse grades the students receive.
Tip number 5, make a study group or get together with a friend from your class to study together. It may not seem like it, but studying with people helps memorize things you're learning, and you may come up with tips or tricks on how to remember things.
Tip number 6, use a whiteboard to write down the things that you are learning. It is scientifically proven to improve your memory and helps your mind stay sharp like your number 2 pencil.
Tip number 7, when there's a fill-in-the-blank question, don't let your mind go blank.
That's all for today on Tips and Tricks on how to do stuff and things with Brooke and Gianna. I'm Gianna.
And I'm Brooke. Good luck on your midterms, Parkland.